All right, this is part 2 of the lesson on simple interest 9.8. I left off in the last video with the examples, and I believe guided practice 1, so I'm going to pick up today, or this morning, with guided practice number 2 at the bottom of 491. So as I've said before, if you want to stop and work number 2 and 3 out, and then I'm going to explain it here on the video. Again, let me just reiterate, you have to know this formula to take the Chapter 9 test, which is Thursday, I believe, 2 days from now. So make sure you memorize this and know what each letter means. Principal, rate written as a decimal, and time in years. Okay? Number 2, interest rate. You deposit $1,000, so what is that? What is the $1,000 that you deposit? Which variable? It lines up with the P, the principal. So you deposit a principal of $1,000 into a 3-month certificate of deposit. 3 months. Now, what did we say about time? It has to be shown in years. How much of a year is 3 months? Well, it's 3 of 12 months, and that can be reduced to 1/4, which you can change to the decimal 25 hundredths, okay? Now, let me stop and say this. The book continues to use the fraction form. If you look up at example 2, they have kept it at 6/12 instead of changing it to 0.5. I don't recommend that. I think using the decimal is easier, but if you're struggling with this transition, how to go from months to part of a year, try it with the fraction instead and see if that's easier for you. I don't think it will be, but it is there as an option, okay? So back to number 2. We've deposited $1,000. And we're supposed to find the rate. I'm looking ahead, so I'm going to put the R here. We're not going to know what that is. Times the amount of time, which is 0.25, a quarter of 1 year. Okay? And it says after 3 months, the balance is $1,005. That's the balance. Remember from number 1 and also from example 1, the balance is the principal plus the interest earned, okay? So in our equation, we need to know what interest is, okay? And so in this equation, the principal was $1,000, therefore the interest had to be $5, okay? So I'm going to put a 5 over here for I. And here's my equation, and I'm solving for the rate. Let me get this out of the way. Okay, so using a calculator, I will combine like terms on the right side of my equal sign. And so I'm going to end up with 5. The interest equals 1,000 times 0.25. And that's 250. Still don't know R. Now I have an equation I can work with. I know how to get the variable alone. I do it by dividing both sides by the coefficient. And so again, using my calculator, 5 divided by 250 is 0.02 is the rate. This is written as a decimal. I need to convert it to a percent. So the interest rate was 2%. That's how you do number 2. Okay, I'm going to clear this off, and we will do number 3 in the guided practice. Okay, number 3. So we're going to use example 3 as well. It says, suppose the simple interest rate in example 3 was 5%. Instead of, what was it, 4%. So let's go back to example 3, change our 4% to 5%, and rework it. So our principal, is $750. We're changing the interest rate to 5%. Remember, that's 0.05 as a decimal. And it says, you receive a check for the interest at the end of each year. How long will it take to earn $150 in interest? How long means you're looking for time. So we've already done this with a different interest rate in the first video. I'm going to go through this one quickly. 750 times 0.05 is 375. Still looking for time. So I'm going to divide 150 by 375. I feel like I missed a decimal point. Let me redo that math. 750 times 0.05 equals, yep, I've got my glasses on and everything and I did not see that. Okay, so that's it. This is our division problem right here. 150 divided by 37.5 comes up with the 4. So how long will it take? What's left over here is our T, so 4 years. Let me say a quick note about the error I just made. You could very easily make the same error, especially if you're very confident and you're working quickly. So again, let me stress, if you want to use a calculator, which I totally think that you should, please write down your work. Just like I have showed all of this work. If I'm the student and all of this is written down as I'm answering a question on the test, and then I fail to put in a decimal point right here, well, the teacher can look, and that will be me, can look at that and say, oh, I see what they did. They've got all the work. They know their formula. They know how to get a variable alone. I'm not going to take off all 5 or 6 points. I'm just going to take off 1 point because of a careless error of missing a decimal point, okay? So I'm just stressing again, please show your work. It is so dangerous when using a calculator when you don't write anything down, you could miss something as small as a decimal point, and I have to take off all the points because I can't see what you did. Okay, show your work. All right. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of problems that you won't see today. That's a little hint for you. But you should know how to solve them. So I'm going to give you 2 of these. This is your reward for sticking it out with 2 15-minute videos for me. And I think hopefully you will see what I'm doing by the end of the week. Hint, hint. Okay, here's 2 problems for you. The directions say for an account that earns simple interest. So again, you would need to know this formula. Find the interest earned. So we're just going to be looking for I. The principal in this one is $5,220 at 5% for 8 years. Okay, I believe if you hit pause, you should be able to solve this on your paper and then resume and see what the answer is. All right, but I am going to work it here. So this is a simple one. All we have to do is multiply 5220 to the decimal form of 5% to the number 8. Easy peasy. 5220 times 0.05 times 8. Notice I have it all written out for my teacher. And you would find that the interest is $2,088. Now, I'm going to stop here and let's talk about that. I'm not saying that it's the wrong answer, but I'm questioning it. Remember how I've told you in the past that it has to make sense? Well, this seems like a lot of money to earn in interest, okay? So what I'm going to do, just as a little check, first I'm going to retype the numbers into the calculator just to make sure I put the zeros and the decimal points in the right place. And when I do, I get the same answer. I'm still not convinced. So I'm going to find out how much interest I would earn in 1 year if I put in that principal at that interest rate. 5% is pretty good, but is it that good? Times 0.05. I'm actually earning $261 over 8 years. Well, in 4 years, I'm going to get up to over 1,000, and this is just a little over 2,000. So now, just using common sense and a little calculation, I can see that yes, that is the correct answer. Okay, I'm going to give you one more gift of a problem, and it is the same kind of thing. Find the interest if the principal is $600 at 8% for 2 years. So pause it, work that out, come back if you get the right answer. 600 times decimal form of 8% times 2. All we got to do, 600 times 0.08 times 2 equals 96. Should be the interest earned on that principal. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple more because I'm not really quite sure which ones you might see later. Hint, hint. Let me clear this off. Let me remind you, you have to memorize this formula up here. I equals PRT. All right, here's a different form. I'm going to write it to you the way that you might see it later. Interest equals $705.60. P is what you're looking for. R, 6%. And T is 2 years. Okay? So what are we going to do? We're going to know our formula. We're going to write it down. I already have it written down, so I'm not going to write it again. I'm going to plug in what I know. I know the interest is 705.6. You can put the 0 there if you want to. Don't have to. I don't know P. That's what I'm solving for. I'm changing my rate to a decimal and 2 years. So, into my calculator, I type 0.06 times 2 equals 0.12. You might have already known that. Okay, so I have 0.12 P. I need P alone. So I'm going to divide both sides by 0.12. 705.6 divided by 0.12 equals $5,880 would be the principal earned on that loan. Okay, I'm going to quickly give you another set of information and probably not work it all out because I think I'm going to run out of time, but give you one more that you can pause, work out, and then come back and see if you got it right. Okay, last one. Let's do one where you have to find the interest. The time. Oh, this will be a good tricky one. Okay, so the interest earned on this loan is $5.75. The principal was $230. The rate is 5%. You figure out the time. So pause it, come back. All right. So I'll show you how to set it up. I'm down to seconds here. 230 times 0.05 times T. And if you worked it out that way, you should find out that it was 6 months. Your answer should be the decimal form, 0.5. All right, good luck with that. Let me know if you have any problems you want me to FaceTime with you or whatever to help you solve these.